sewing friends. So I have been participating in the quarterly outfit challenge over on Instagram from Abbey of What Abbey Wore. So I discovered her as a sewist, like in the sewing arena, but she really does a great mix of like handmade garments, but also ready to wear. And her whole focus is putting together like, looks that feel good and are creative and inspiring every day. And that definitely aligns with some of my goals of not just wanting to put my creativity into the garments that I sew, but then also making sure that I am wearing those garments in like fun and creative ways. So this one is specific to February, which is great for kind of getting out of at least the rut that I find myself in of wearing the same couple of outfits just to stay warm, but really, expanding my creativity. These outfit prompts, we'll go into them in a little bit, but they're just really fun ways of stepping outside of that, maybe playing a little bit of dress up, not so far as like costumes, but really incorporating that into personal style, which again has been like a big priority of mine for the last year. So I really identify with this. It's made getting dressed so much more fun, especially again in the winter time. But I thought I would share some of my things that I have learned along the way. We're halfway into the month. It is a month-long challenge, if I didn't say that already. We're halfway through. So I've been coming up with some fun outfits. And for me, I wanted to, of course, include a me-made garment in there in my outfit, as well as following the prompt, just to give myself, that little like extra boost. I always feel better when I wear things that I have made, but sometimes struggle a little bit with building outfits around them. So this exercise has been really great, and I thought I would get into it and share what I've been wearing the last couple of weeks. So I've got my phone here, both with the list of outfit prompts, but also what I have been wearing the last couple of weeks, because I track that in the Indyx app, which is so much fun and has taught me so much. Again, these two things I think have done more for my personal style than any like style professional, like either through like a book or video, anything that I've learned from like an actual stylist. This has been more helpful. So I've got my index, I've got the challenge list here. So starting from February 1st, we had 2016 core, followed by primary colors, all about the outerwear, corporate baddie casual, recreate an Insta look, print mixing, and hope core. So starting with 2016 core, I went very literal with this one. And instead of looking at like, what was general 2010s fashion, I went for like, what is a garment that I still own from 2016? A pajama top. And I made an outfit around that. And I don't think it's a great outfit, to be honest. This is something that I would have worn in 2016, and 2016 was not a great year for me. So the transition from like college to my first real job and having no money, I would have paired a pajama top with a wool skirt. I think it looks okay, but this is not something that I would usually wear. I think I went too literal, and it just reminds me of like in high school being the kid in Spirit Week that like went all out for whatever the theme was, no matter how impractical or uncomfortable it was. That is the first outfit. If I didn't say already, the wool skirt is a Forget-Me-Not Natalie. It's one of my favorite patterns, but I don't usually reach for this skirt because the pockets sit a little funny. It's not made for a stretch fabric, and this was a stretch wool, so I think that's why. And I probably need to like either remove the pocket or like tack it down, because it makes me feel really like kind of frumpy when I wear it. But it's such a good skirt and it's really fun, so I need to do something about that. So day 2 was a little bit of a struggle because I don't have a lot of primary colored things in my wardrobe, and what I did want to wear was not clean. So I had to kind of go back to the drawing board. I have a lot of like jewel tones. I have a lot of like kind of muted earthy colors, like sage green, powder pink, not a lot of primary tones. So I ended up coming up with this with a Helmi blouse under a wool sweater, which is a formula you will see quite a bit. I'm trying to kind of break out of that as an everyday formula, but you will see it a lot on here, just as warning. But I really liked kind of my like creative little flair for this one was to take my hair ribbon, which is, yeah, it's like a clip to go in the back. And instead I like looped it through the rulo loop of the Helmi blouse to give like a little, sorry, I touched the mic, a little like faux tie moment. So they're not like primary colors with like a light blue and a mustard rather than like full on yellow and like pure blue. But I think with the red, I think it worked really well and I think it was really cute. Day 3 was all about the outerwear, and I will say I just don't really count outerwear as part of my outfit. I feel like it's just such a functional thing that I put on before I leave and then I take off as soon as I get in the house. So I don't usually count it. I don't log it in my index. And yeah, I don't usually like claim it as part of my outfit if I'm gonna have to take it off like as soon as I get to where I'm going anyway. So this prompt was kind of a miss for me. I happened to be going to a concert on this day, so this is what I wore, and I did wear the jacket. I regretted the jacket because it is like my cute one and not my super warm one, and it was so cold and it was raining, and I really wish I had just worn like my big old parka. So day 4 is corporate casual, and I kind of think of being like allergic to everything corporate. So I did try. I shot for corporate and I think I landed like a boho flight attendant or like sailor. So it's the same forget-me-not Helmi blouse plus wool sweater formula combo that I really love. But this time I added a little scarf to kind of be like a tie with some straight leg trousers and my somewhat nice-ish boots. And I was like, I mean, I think this is what I would wear if I went to an office and I wasn't a freelancer that usually works in my pajamas. But yeah, I did try. I don't think I quite made it to the prompt, but I did really like this outfit. Next was to recreate a outfit that I found on Instagram. And this was a challenge for me because I don't really save outfit inspiration on Instagram. I find it to just be kind of clunky and you can't organize it like you can with like Pinterest or anything else like that. So I spent a long time like looking and trying to find the balance of I wanted something that would be outside of my comfort zone, that would be like different enough to like aspire to, but that I could still use the clothes that are actually in my closet to do that with. So this is what I found, and I do really like her outfit, and I think mine like recreation is a pretty close fit. The things that I really liked about hers were like the boots with the floral maxi skirt and then the like high contrast graphic tee with that. So I think hers works better with the like black, white, red color combo, whereas mine is like green, blue, white, which is just like kind of a lot calmer and doesn't really, I don't think lends itself to the style as well as hers does. I do still really like it. The t-shirt, I should say, I did steal from my partner, but I'm just gonna say that like we went to the concert together, so it's just as much as my t-shirt as it is his t-shirt. So I'm gonna call that good. And I do really like it paired with the Meg skirt that I made last year. I think it's cute. I think like the color palette is not quite giving what the inspo is giving. Day 6 was about print mixing, and I loved looking through. I should say the other part of this challenge that I really like is to then check the hashtag and see what other people are wearing for the prompt. I think that is so much more inspiring to see like what real people are wearing and how they're interpreting things than going on Pinterest where it is like mostly like ads and promotional content or like actual product photos. But to see like what real people are wearing in their real day-to-day life, I think is really inspiring and really fun. So I loved looking at everybody else's for the print mixing one. Really, really fun. It made me realize that I don't have a lot of printed tops. I've got lots of prints in dresses and some for bottoms, but I really mostly have solids, which was a shift that I really needed to go towards, I would say, in the last couple of years, but now maybe I went a little too far and I need to bring some prints back into my wardrobe. I'm still really happy with what I came up with, but because I didn't have any tops, I ended up shifting a shirt dress. It is the Winvale from Cashmerette, from like wearing it as a dress to wearing it open more like a duster, and then I paired it with a pair of printed velvet flare trousers, but I feel like in the picture you can't really see that there is actually a print going on. I think it works really well together with like the big scale print and the small scale print, still kind of in the same, I don't know, like color family. The big print of the dress has like maroon and teal, as well as black and browns in there. So I feel like they really work together. I wore it over my True Bias Brynn top because again, the Winvale has in that like floral print, it does have some teal in it. So I thought that it would pull better than it did, but I think for the print mixing, I might have done better with just like a black t-shirt or a black turtleneck to kind of like anchor the print mixing a little bit. So definitely learned from that outfit and want to kind of experiment a little bit more with print mixing in the future. Day 7 was about wearing a spring garment, but styled up to wear for winter weather. And this is definitely one that I wouldn't have put together on my own without the prompting of the prompt. So I don't really have a lot of like spring, I'm using a lot of air quotes in this video, and I'm probably not going to stop, but I do acknowledge it. I feel that I am doing it. Yeah, spring items in my wardrobe. It tends to be like the trickiest time of year for me because I really want to like wear things that are in line with what nature is doing, like color wise, obviously like cut and temperature wise. But I definitely have a lot more things geared toward like full on summer or like things that are in like fall and winter tones. As I said, like I don't really have very many primary colors. I don't really have a lot of pastels. I have a lot of like muted tones and jewel tones. So spring is kind of tricky for me. Anyway, I picked this skirt. It's a dark background, but has like bright colors in it. So I thought that that would kind of work for it's not quite spring yet vibes. It is the Ella skirt from Forget Me Not Patterns. I made it a few years ago and I hacked the back of it to have elastic in the back, but it's flat on the front. And I paired it with a Dawson top and then a wool sweater over the top. So the Dawson top and the skirt I have worn together before, but again, it is like really cold still. So wearing the wool sweater and the mini skirt was a bit different for me. I probably wouldn't have done it without the prompting, but I did actually really like how it went together. So getting into week 2, we have nautical vibes, song lyric inspiration, going polka dotty, workwear chic, inspired by interior design, Galentine's Day, and lastly for today, February 14th, Valentine's Day, it is pink, red, hearts, and love. Nautical vibes was definitely a journey and made me think a little bit outside of my regular wardrobe for sure. I ended up grabbing a t-shirt that I don't even know how long I have owned this. It is gotta be at least 15 years old. It has holes in it. It's my like painting / pajama shirt. Yeah, it has like a big old paint stain like right on the boob. So I was like, okay, well, it's my only striped shirt. I got to wear it for nautical vibes. How can I cover this up? And I ended up layering over my Cashmerette denim Hartwell vest, which I don't think is particularly nautical, but I do think it went with like my wide leg, my wide leg jeans. And then what I really liked about this outfit and was really surprised by is how the details made me feel really confident and put together, even though they are details that like nobody else would see if I wasn't making a video and talking about them. But what I really loved about it was that I had my vest on, my little Hartwell vest, and then so I have that V. Then I had the V of my little scarf that I made from a scrap of fabric last summer. So I have like the blue, the red, V on V, and then like in the center of it, which nobody else could see, but I absolutely loved, was my little Taylor Swift 1989 necklace that I got from a friend. And it is blue, white, and gold with little seagulls on it, which made it so perfect for the nautical theme. Again, such a tiny detail that nobody else noticed. I also had my little sunshine earrings on. So I had the red, white, and blue, had the stripes, even though I had like a hole in my shirt. And then like this V on V, red, white, and blue with the little seagulls. It made me feel so intentional and pulled together, even though no one else was seeing that. It made me so much more confident in my day and just going about like my regular things. So the takeaway for me with that is like the details do really matter, even if they only matter to me. That can really like improve my whole outset for a day. Day 9 is probably my favorite of this whole 2 weeks, and it's probably because I got to play dress up like the most. So the prompt for the day was song lyric inspiration, and I went to a Beaches concert last week, so I've definitely been still having their songs like all at the forefront of my brain. And so Living in Blame Brett is the title of the song. I put on a button-up shirt, and the full lyric is, "I'll become an asshole disguised as a bad girl in my button-up shirt, a natural disaster." The song is basically about like going through a really bad breakup and recognizing that you're just gonna need to like be a trash human for a little while. And that like now is not the time for personal growth. Like sometimes grieving can look like chaos. And where I did use the button-up shirt that is like literal kind of like low-hanging fruit direction in the song for this outfit. But what I was really leaning into is the bit after of being a natural disaster. And I was definitely thinking of just kind of being a social hurricane. And yeah, so I did my hair as big as I could possibly make it. I have very fine straight hair, but I made it as big as I could. I did like half a face of makeup with just eyeliner and really dark lipstick, because I feel like that is the vibe of you're just kind of couch hopping, no responsibility, but still trying to look hot. So the shortest skirt, it's actually a skirt, but like layered up with tights and boots. And then the only handmade thing that I wore was my just plain Dawson t-shirt with every necklace that I own. I'm just trying to like pack on as much as possible. And it's so far from my like daily wear that I really, really love this outfit. And I think like the button-up shirt tied around the waist worked really, really well for this. So I love this outfit. It's not something I would wear on the day-to-day. So it really like kind of pushed me to, yeah, be a little bit different. So I do not like polka dots. I don't have any expressly polka dot garments in my wardrobe. So going polka dotty for day 10 was a little bit of a stretch for me. But again, I found kind of like with nautical vibes, leaning in as far as I can go, being really intentional about the details really made me feel, yeah, again, like very pulled together, very present. So I don't have any like actual polka dot items, but I do have a pair of, I found my tights that were missing forever, and I'm very excited about it because they have a little like Swiss dot kind of detail. Again, you can't even really see it in the picture, but I have a little dotty tight. My shoes have this, like, I think it's called like a Bruges design. They're little Oxfords, but they have like little like line and then little dots on them. I don't know what it's called, but so I have dots there. My earrings were just like little gold round discs, which I was thinking of them as like little polka dots. And then my blouse, again, another Helmi blouse, is really a floral. It's kind of like an Art Deco-y geometric floral, but from far away, it kind of looks like polka dots. So yeah, I had the polka dot, at least to me, theme in earrings, on my blouse, and then on my tights and my shoes. So I felt very on theme. I felt very intentional, even though my outfit probably did not read polka dots at all. So workwear chic, parentheses, think 30s, 40s workwear. I don't think that I hit the mark that was like intended. I chose to think of it as like workwear with some retro or vintage inspiration. This is one where I basically just took my kind of like everyday uniform of, again, a forget-me-not Helmi blouse. I only own 3 of them, but I feel like I wear them so often, and I think I really need more because I feel like it's all I've talked about in this video as far as the me-made aspect of these outfits. I should count up and see how many I wore. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. It is 4 out of 14 of these outfits included a Helmi blouse. I only own 3 of them, again, but I wear them on rotation quite a bit. So with this outfit, trying to think of like 30s, 40s inspiration with the clothes I actually have made me, for one, realize that I really want a pair of overalls because I feel like I really need that. And I feel like it would be a really cool like silhouette variation that I don't really have at present. So I took my regular outfit and then just tried to like inject where I could like some vintage / retro vibes. So yeah, I had my Helmi blouse. I picked the one that has like, that I made a big bow tie for because I felt like that was kind of vintagey retro. With my sweater, nothing really vintage about my sweater. I picked a straight leg velvet trouser, which is kind of like 40s-esque, I'm gonna tell myself. Then I wore like little lacy socks and my Oxfords again, because that definitely has a vintage ring to it. And I threw on a beret. I would have loved to have like done my hair in kind of like, what are those called, like pin curls, like where they kind of like go back on your face, kind of that 40s style. I would have loved to do that. I didn't have time for it. So I called the beret like good enough. And I do think it's a really cute outfit. It is not very far from what I wear regularly, but at least like it kind of has the same outfit with like some vintage flavor to the side. So next is interior design inspiration, which is right up my alley because we're not remodeling, but we are trying to like redecorate every room in the house throughout the year. If you watched my last video, it's slow going. We have a really small budget and not a whole lot of time, but eventually we're gonna get to every room in this house and make it nicer. So I'm very much living the vicarious Pinterest home decor life right now. So this one was right up my alley and I thought it would be a great opportunity to share my dream coffee table that is absolutely unattainable. We're very much in the like secondhand vintage market and not the drop $2,500 on a coffee table market. But for the purposes of this outfit prompt, is great to share. And I had to bring in the little accessory that I think very much embodies this like wavy 70s coffee table that I love so much. Are these little Kate Spade. I don't know how like bad the glare is with the lights on the sunglasses, but I got these at TJ Maxx last summer and they're absolutely my favorite. They've broken twice and I keep repairing them. So I see why they were at TJ Maxx, but they're so much fun with this like resin, kind of like sunflowery 70s shape. So I knew I had to wear these and that kind of informed the rest of my outfit. My me-made for this outfit is not very exciting. It's just a t-shirt. It's another Helen's Closet Dawson top with a thrifted wool vest over the top and then those same velvet Levi's flares that I love so much. So very 70s, very much the vibe. I don't think I'm dressed like a coffee table, but you know, that is still the inspiration. So if you are a celebrator of Galentine's Day, February 13th, all about sharing love for female friendship, I knew exactly what I was going to wear for this one. It was probably the easiest outfit prompt because I have a dress that is heart printed and made by my actual sewing bestie. So she had made the Tilly and the Buttons Indigo dress for herself and then was finding that she just wasn't quite wearing it. So she passed it on to me, and every time I wear it, I think of how grateful I am to have her in my life. So if you want to go follow my very talented friend Joyce, she's Poplin Peony. I'll pop her Instagram down below. So she made this a couple years ago, and I really love having it in my wardrobe. It's one of the only like smock dresses that I have, and so it's really cozy and comfy. I layered it up over another Helen's Closet mesh Dawson top. And so here I think I kind of accomplished the print mixing goal from the other week with, so this one has like stripes and dots in the, like, I guess it's not a print. It is a textured mesh. But I do think you, like with the stripes and the dots and kind of that like lacy feel, did give a bit of contrast to the heart print. And then I leaned into the like black brown of the like rusty colored hearts on the black background with some brown boots and a brown belt. I'm not wearing them now. My little like wooden earrings, wooden necklace. So I really liked how that look came together. That was definitely the easiest on this entire list. And that brings us to today, Valentine's Day, with pink and red, hearts and love. I did not intend to wear, I had planned a different outfit and I put it on and I was like, oh, I hate this. So I have a heart printed, what is it called? What's the name of that pattern? Lockhart, a Helen's Closet Lockhart dress. And I thought I would wear it. It's pink and red hearts. I thought I would wear it over this like kind of burgundy striped mesh turtleneck. It was not cute for one. It was definitely leaning to like schoolgirl-esque, and I felt young in like a bad way. I don't know how else to describe that. And it's also just the dress is too tight. I did a shirring panel at the back, but I think it didn't take as well as I would have liked. So it's just really tight and did not feel good. So I still wanted to layer this burgundy mesh Dawson and decided to try it underneath this Brynn dress, the True Bias Brynn. I don't wear this very often because it is so low cut and I definitely have to wear something under it. And then usually in the winter, like my chest is cold, but I decided to put it over this turtleneck and I really like it. It's basically the same color, but then you get the like texture differences here. And I think it's really cute. So I think this is, again, not something I would have like thought to put together without some prompting. So I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And then just as kind of I really like the styling rule of like add something in that doesn't match. So everything else is like reds and browns, but then I have these little turquoise heart earrings because hearts was in the prompt. So I had to get hearts in there somewhere. It doesn't match. And I kind of like that. I like letting just a little splash of chaos. So that's everything I've been wearing for the last 2 weeks, which is a little bit weird to share on here, but hopefully you enjoyed seeing not just like what I have been making, which is what I usually post on here, but actually like how I've been wearing it, how I've been living in it. I think probably at the end of the month, I will want to see like what I didn't wear and see if that is like a product of like, maybe it just wasn't in the outfit prompts that I'm trying to follow this month, or maybe there's like some gaps in my wardrobe that make something unwearable. So I think this process is really great. I've really enjoyed, again, not only like for myself, seeing what I'm actually wearing, what needs like some TLC, a little bit of attention, like that first skirt from day one. Need to figure out those pockets. But then also like seeing what everybody else is wearing. And again, seeing what real people, not just like ads and products, which are, you know, thrown at us all day, every day, but seeing what real people are actually wearing has been so inspiring. So hopefully it's been inspiring for you too. Let me know if you want me to do a part 2 with the second half of February. I will be, of course, like sticking to the outfit prompts for the rest of the month. But let me know if you want to have another video or maybe just like a shorter recap of them perhaps. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to know, of course, from you if you would consider doing this kind of challenge, or if you have other like ways of finding outfit inspiration, especially like in the winter. What is motivating you to get dressed with creativity and yeah, like boldness in mind? I would love to, or just comfort if you like really need like grounding and comfort in this time, because times are hard right now. Yeah, so whatever you need, I hope that getting dressed is a small tool to helping you, whether that's via like inspiration and creativity and intention, or if it's like comfort and grounding. Yeah, let me know. Let's chat about it. And until next time, I hope you have the best sewing and styling week ever. So I'll see you next time. Bye.